As much as I love the winning projects, I'm going to look at a winner and just look right at it and say, yep, this works. This is great. This is fun. I really love the loser projects better because I get an education. It's kind of those times when, you ever get embarrassed, and the hairs on the back of your neck stand up and you're super embarrassed that went down. You never forget those times, do you? Never, ever, ever forget them. They're burned in your memory banks. You have an emotion with an event and they come together. It's burned in your memory. You'll never forget. When's the last time you had a great time? Probably already forgotten. You might have to go back on your phone and go find some photos and you go, oh yeah, I was at that party the other day. I had a lot of fun. Winning doesn't invoke an emotion that you remember. But when you're losing, it very much invokes an emotion. And so for us, we're going to focus on those losers a lot more than those winners. I don't want you to get depressed. I don't want you to get into that role of focusing on losers, but I want you to focus on the education at hand. Whenever I have a losing project, I'm going to look at that and say, how much did I pay for this education? And what is the education I'm getting from it? I talked to one of the project managers here in the San Diego, California sign company. And I said, when you have a losing project that doesn't do so well, what do you do? And she goes, oh, we deep dive into it immediately. And I said, who's we? She goes, me and the other project managers. We get together and we look at it and say, what happened here? I forgot to survey it. And so when we went out there, we had to do 2 trips because the survey wasn't done. I said, okay, well, what happened there? And she goes, well, it needed a raceway, and I had no idea. I thought there was access behind the wall. I made an assumption based on the other signs on the wall, and there was a mistake on my part. I should have surveyed it. Okay, we found a solution, a possible solution to fix this in the future. What other problems do we have? Well, I thought that if I put the 2 different colors together in the paint booth, they could all paint one color at once, and it turns out it's 2 different color blues. And so I snuck it in the paint booth. It got painted the wrong color, and then we had to sand it and repaint it again. So I tried to do a shortcut and ended up going and backfiring on me. Okay. Another solution, understood, read the drawings a little bit better. We went a little careless, said blue, but there were different PMS colors. And I said, what else? She goes, a lot of it handles with the shipping and the installer. When do we ship it? When does the installer receive it? In a couple aspects, she goes, I would ship it to the installer and it got there at 3 p.m. and they closed their doors after 2 o'clock because they work, from 5 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then the shipping carrier had to take it back, had to deliver it the second day, and I got an extra charge for that. I didn't realize that the installer had certain hours. So all these different things add up. $500 here, $300 here, $400 here. And next thing you know, your whole profit margin is completely shot. Or even worse, you're writing them a check on well of it. So that education comes with sometimes a higher price, but at least your PMs are sitting there and taking the time. You as an owner, are you being an ostrich and putting your head in the sand and not looking at these jobs? Or are you actually stopping your company, the main integral people, not the entire company, but the integral people, and sitting down and having a talk, an open discussion? I will tell you, me personally, all my sales team, all my project managers, myself and the accounting department will sit down once a month and go over all the projects. We try and high five the winners, focus on the positives, but we also examine the losers and say, what did we do right? What did we do wrong? That's just a part of it. That's a part of growing. That's a part of scaling your company. If you guys aren't costing, I can't even help you. I'm praying that you're costing right now. But once you are costing, looking at those, share it with your team. They need to know they're the ones protecting your bottom line. They're the best ones going to be the source to get that education and actually make it go somewhere, actually use it for better stuff.